Two teams, two conferences. It's a road game for the Rockets, and Houston is looking to play Texas big. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night edition of the NBA and all its great action on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with David Aldridge on our sideline. The Celtics are looking to grab one here for the home fans in Boston before heading out on the road.
This is a team with high expectations, and they don't end with the regular season.
And they've been every bit as good as expected, Greg, rolling through the regular season, and they're gathering momentum as the postseason grows closer. I would say they'll be dangerous again in the playoffs.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So on the floor for Houston, the two pillars of this team, Chris Paul and Harden, are the 1 and the 2. P.J. Tucker is out there with Clint Capella. And it's Ariza in at the 3, the small forward.
And the Celtics gave up 4 players to get 1 in Kyrie Irving, but they already had so much depth, they could afford to sacrifice a bit for a superstar just entering his prime.
And Harden with the stuff.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Vitally important. I mean, if you relax for a second, you're cooked. You're toast. They learned that lesson there.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
Hands it from downtown. Tucker's got his first 3 points of the game.
Oh, a good open look, and he sprays it home from 3.
Rozier kicks to Baines. In the corner, Horford with it. It's stolen by Capella. It's Harden with the drive. Stripped it away. Pass to Rozier. Over Paul. They get it back. Tatum dishes to Baines. Yep, it counts. Baines has got his first basket of the night.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Boy, it's a thing of beauty watching him attack the defense like that. I mean, they wanted no part of him on that layup.
Capella, the pass to Ariza. Just 4 to shoot. And it's Capella missing.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Rozier. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Clark, all players, all coaches talk about the difference of the speed and the intensity of the regular season compared to the oncoming playoff season. Everything is up a notch.
Yeah, exactly, Kevin. And that's one of the regrets I have as a player. Because of my career being cut short, I never had a chance to play in the playoffs. And you can feel the intensity as a player, certainly, as a fan, even as a broadcaster. The intensity, physicality, and nature of the game just ratchets up 2 or 3 notches, and those are the most fun environments to play in, and clearly you can see that in the players and the coaches. It's palpable and visible how they turn things up come playoff time.
They now take the lead. Tatum's got his second basket of the night.
Nice way to start the evening. His numbers getting called, and for good reason.
Well, you know, Greg, they can count on him to get buckets. I mean, he's getting the ball because he's very efficient. When he has
He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. He's on his way to the free throw line. And some changes here for the Celtics. Morris comes in for Aaron Baines, and it's Brown in for Tatum. The Celtics have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. And Capella sends it back. And he's good on the 3-ball. Smart's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Over to the left wing. Hall's shot is off. For Boston, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Here's Rozier. It's good. He scores. That's his first basket after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
You know, one of the great strengths of Coach D'Antoni, to me, Kevin, is he really gives his players a lot of confidence. And his philosophy really clicks with players. They're comfortable playing for him. They know their responsibilities, and they play hard for D'Antoni.
And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for Houston.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
And to what you said about Mike D'Antoni, he sees his players and asks, what can they do, instead of what can't you do?
And, you know, he's had a lot of success last season elevating the Rockets and winning Coach of the Year in the process.
And you watch the way the Rockets play, Clark, a little bit of 7 seconds or less, certainly from their coach, Mike D'Antoni. Green lights to shoot from anywhere. Just attractive basketball. A lot of fun to watch. Clark, just how much fun is it to play in a team like that?
Well, I would think it would be the ideal way to play. Everybody's sharing the ball. There's plenty of possessions and opportunities. It's up and down trend. I mean, I think it's the way the game is intended to be played. And There's a reason why Houston has done a great job of signing players the last few seasons, and part of it is their style and the chemistry the team seems to have in playing the way they do.
Yeah, clearly a defensive lapse there. He is automatic from deep if you're going to leave him that wide open. Big time mistake.
Now here's Smart. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Boston shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And taking a look at the numbers on the season, they've converted about 77% of those foul shots.
You know, their percentages dropped off just a little bit compared to last year, guys, but it's not a huge drop-off, so no major concern.
12 seconds left to play in the first. Now Harden. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And a good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. Up to this point, a closely contested game. Last outing for the Rockets, it was a loss to Golden State.
Well, listen, I've seen worse performances offensively, but no doubt that group was inconsistent.
For sure. Agree with you there. They just didn't have it. Seemed like they were a step behind and out of sync.
Smart and Brown outside on the wings. Craig Monroe is up there with Morris. And it's Larkin in at the point. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Celtics. Morris with the ball. Picked up by Nene. Larkin kicks to Brown. And taken away by Brown. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, Celtics coach Brad Stevens is known for getting the best out of his players. He said every NBA player has an elite strength. Some of them have 10 of them. Those guys are the very best in the league, right? But every one of them is here for a reason. And there are times when you can really soar with that skill. Kevin?
And that's why Stevens is already one of the best coaches in the league, David. You've talked about him for a long time, getting maximum results from every one of his players. And the Celtics making a change here. Tatum's checked in. Larkin kicks to Tatum. Morris with a screen on Johnson. Here's Tatum. Rockets with the rebound. Last time they met in Houston.
Yeah, it was a narrow win, but at that last meeting, I think foul trouble for the other side may have really just tipped the scale and allowed them to escape with the W.
You know, whether it was their smart play or a few whistles that perhaps could have gone either way, when games are tight, every decision becomes more magnified.
From outside the arc, 6 on the shot clock. The Celtics need to get a shot off. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Monroe. Left side, Gordon. Eric Gordon on the wing. Again, the miss by Gordon. Celtics have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. And there's a whistle that goes on Luke Mbamute. That's his first foul.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
And Morris throws it down.
Man, this thing is just going back and forth tonight.
Yeah, it's been a seesaw battle. Right now, I mean, as soon as one team grabs the lead, the other grabs it right back.
And you look at this Celtics roster, a bevy of long, athletic wing players. They seem to be taking a cue from teams like the Warriors, who have found success with defensive switching and positionless basketball.
Out to the right wing. Mbamute. And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way. Al Horford, he's checked in for the Celtics. Rozier comes in for Shane Larkin. For Boston, they've gone 4 of 6 from the field here in the second. Rozier, the best to Baines. Up again. It's good on the putback. And now a 4-point Celtic lead.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
And the Celtics, as you see, are stockpiling wing forwards. Brown, Tatum, Hayward, and we're seeing those guys lining up at the 2, 3, and 4. It gives Brad Stevens tremendous roster versatility.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think.
That's exactly how you send it. 2 hands and down. No explanation for giving up these wide open looks. Total breakdown. Unacceptable. Defense.
There's the pick. Goes up off the pick.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Gordon.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Smart's checked in for the Celtics. Rozier kicks to Smart. And the rejection by Harden. And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. Boston making a switch here. Monroe's checked in. 32 seconds left here in the second. Tatum's shot is off.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
They get a hand on it. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Horford. Ariza kicks to Capella. Kicks it out to Paul. And Tucker has it in the corner. Good, and Paul gets assist. Paul's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. A lot of give and take between these sides early.
And both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one. And I love the way he uses his size there to make sure he gets that board.
And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Rockets lead by 1. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. And Clark, if you're a player on a cold streak, either in a game or over a couple games, does that tend to stay with you and get in your head?
You know, it's been so long since I played, Kevin. I would like to think that it didn't with me because the games came so fast. You're playing 3, 4, 5 times a week. You don't have time to loiter on a good game or bad game because the next one is on top of you. So I typically was able to get on to the next play within a game and to the next game after the prior game.
So on the floor for Houston. Filling out the wings, it's Harden and Ariza. P.J. Tucker is up there with Clint Capella. And it's Paul in at the 1. And you ask any Houston fan who the greatest player in the history of the franchise is, and they all say Hakeem Olajuwon. Clark, you played against Olajuwon. Just how great a player was he? And what does he mean to this Rockets franchise today?
Boy, he was special. A first ballot Hall of Famer, brought the only titles in franchise history to the Rockets, and could do everything you want from a big guy. Graceful, strong, a presence defensively and on the glass, unselfish. They called him Hakeem the Dream for good reason. That dude was a dream to play with and a nightmare for opponents.
Capella. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. That's now 8 points for Clint Capella. Rozier the best to Horford. Horford missing again.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And the Rockets play at one of the highest paces in the NBA. A lot of possessions for both sides as they want as many chances as they can possibly get to score. Clark, when you think about that, how do you prepare for a team like the Rockets if you're their opponent?
Well, there are a couple of things you can do. One is you try to slow them down, and some teams are equipped to do that. Other teams are equally adept at the three, so you match them shot for shot. But the problem with that is Harden is really good in the half court. And even when you take away transition, he can hurt you in the half-court game.
Tatum's shot is off.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
From deep, Harden. Capella. And it's put back up and in by Capella. Capella's got 4 this quarter.
Oh, a nice tip in to salvage the points from that missed shot.
And those second chance points can add up.
And if you're the defensive team, it just kills you to give up baskets like that.
Houston in the lead. Harden kicks to Capella. Back to Harden. The high post shot. Basket counts. Harden's got 13.
Guys, he has been a major factor. Big time. Outstanding. At getting quality looks and knocking them down.
So the Celtics called timeout, their first. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
Yeah, in a game where offensively they were about as inconsistent as you're ever going to see them.
They needed to make a few runs, but it just never happened for them. And when you can't string things together, it's tough sledding. It's a tough way to go.
And some changes here for the Celtics. Marcus Morris is checked in for Aaron Baines. Jaylen Brown comes in for Tatum. And Shane Larkin subbed in for Terry Rozier. Celtics trail by 3. The kick out to Brown. Horford against the net. Tries again. And here's Brown outside. Boston again missing. Brown against Johnson. Three-pointer. The shot off that time. And the Celtics going the other way now. Larkin dishes to Smart. Baamute with the steal. And it's the Rockets on the break. And it's Gordon missing. For Boston, they've gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. The dish to Larkin. Celtics passing it around. And Horford, here we go. Nice fake, but the layup off the mark. Rockets leading by 3. Green kicks to Gordon. Dishes it to Johnson. Passes it to Baamute. And that one, good. And Baamute's got his second bucket tonight.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Green, the pass to Baamute. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Green's got 3 assists now in this one. Now a timeout called by Boston. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Greg Monroe, he's checked in for Boston. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now.
You know, so many people were surprised at the Kyrie Irving trade, but throughout the decades, Boston's been unafraid to pull the trigger. I mean, they moved up to number 2 to draft the great Bill Russell, moving back to number 3 to draft McHale, add Parrish, assembling the big 3 for a championship, then dismantling that big 3 for all those unprotected picks. This is an organization that stops at nothing to try and win titles.
And that's how you answer back.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, go right back at them. Show them you can shoot from outside all night long.
In the corner, Smart with it. Now the pass to Horford. Down to 5 on the shot clock. A 3 from Morris. The shot, no good. Rockets leading by 7.
If they increase the tempo, they got a chance at a 2-for-1.
Execution paramount. Speed it up and put the defense on their heels if you can.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt. Right side, Gordon. It's deflected. Green inside the three-point line. And so it's the Houston Rockets going into the break with a 10-point lead. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. Up. Three quarters in the books, folks. Glad to have you with us. Welcome back as we get going. Houston's gone downtown 13 times in this game, and they're just over 50%. 7 of 13 on threes. We've got Tatum. Smart is out there with Rozier. Then it's Aaron Baines. And it's Morris in at the 4 slot. That's the Boston 5. Here's Tatum. Got it from 16 feet. Tatum's got the first points up on the board here in the 4th for Boston.
Love that aggressive mentality, constantly looking to put the ball in the basket.
Shots good. Mba'amute. Mba'amute's got the lead up to 10 now for the Rockets. And taken away by Johnson. From deep, Green bangs home the trifecta. In a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Rockets.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
A nice shot by Tatum.
And just great offensive execution by both sides, leaving nothing on the table.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Greg, both of these teams completely aligned, in sync right now. I mean, they are torching the Nets late in this ball game.
Just 5 to shoot. And stolen by Tatum. It's stolen by Johnson. On the wing, Green. That doesn't go either for Green. Celtics trail by 10. Morris kicks to Tatum. Back to Morris. The feed to Tatum. Misses the 3.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Outside Gordon. Feeds to Nene. And here we go with Morris running it up the court. Here's Smart. And there's the call on Nene. That's his first foul. Al Horford's checked in for Morris. So for the Rockets. Now a timeout called by Boston.
Yeah, you can sense he wasn't happy with how things are going here. Probably looking to change it up a bit.
Nothing wrong with that. You got to be flexible. When something isn't working, you adjust, you modify, you go to something else. That's what the best coaches do.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, guys. Well, I was able to listen in on what Brad Stevens was talking about with his players. He told them flat out, we are turning the ball over too much, guys. We can't keep making the hero ball play. Slow it down, run the offense, and make the safe pass. Back to you, Kevin.
To the left wing. Here's Tucker. And the dunk by Capella.
And great effort on the boards, and what a muse that was, Kevin. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him, Clark, at all times.
And you know what? Sometimes that's not even enough. He'll go around, over, or through you to get to the pumpkin.
Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line. Well, Clark, your whole career, you were a fantastic rebounder, really at all levels you played at. With that in mind, who do you think are some of the best rebounders right now in the NBA?
Well, for me, it's all about the consistency of getting rebounds at both ends of the floor, and I tend to lean towards those guys that get a bunch of offensive rebounds. So in that regard, Kevin Love, Hassan Whiteside, Andre Drummond, those guys are tenacious and highly productive on the offensive board.
And it's Paul missing.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Stolen by Harden. Tucker dishes to Capella. And the dunk by Capella.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that. And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for the Rockets.
They had a fantastic play from the bench.
And this team has great depth, and they showed it in this game.
And one thing about this team, they never stop pushing the envelope. Fantastic year already with 65 wins, and tonight making it 66. Very impressive.
And bragging rights between these teams were on the line today, and they put in some very good work to earn them.
Sure did. I mean, this means they'll come out on top in the season series, 2-1 now. Got to be happy about that.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Clint Capella.
Well, his defense was tremendous tonight. Really, really high level. He was a pest, forced the opponents into a lot of turnovers.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Horford, no luck. Harden outside. He kicks it to Capella. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish. So we see Houston taking the W here. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
That's it, folks. The NBA